Bert Pearson.
I thank you all for the honor of being here today. When Commander Payton called me up and asked me to make a speech today, I did a lot of thinking. And I finally came up with a theme for my speech, and I hope you enjoy it. It is what Memorial Day means to me. Each year, as I was growing up, Memorial Day meant a day off from school or work. Usually we had a family picnic with friends. However, it was not until I joined the military later in my teen years that I realized that Memorial Day is not just another day. It is a time to remember those who gave so much of themselves for me and millions of others in the service of our country. I can remember the first time I went to Washington, D.C. to view the Vietnam Memorial Wall and the Korean War Veterans Memorial. It gave me the most heart-wrenching feeling of loss for the thousands that have given their lives is one of extreme solace. I am sure that each one here can not only relive the stories of war, but remember loved ones that were maimed, wounded, lost, and died in combat. My story is not much different because I lost my youngest son, Keith, who was serving in the Army in Somalia almost 20 years ago. When he died, not a day goes by I don't think of him. This is why Memorial Day is so important to me, to everyone, to remember those that are no longer with us. On this very weekend, as I was reflecting on this Memorial Day, I received an email from my daughter, Laura, who retired from the Coast Guard. It consisted of an email she received from a nurse who was with my son Keith when he died. She had searched for us for over 20 years. It was just this past weekend she wrote to let us know that Keith was not alone when he passed away because she was with him. And I'd like to share this email with you, but my wife has to read it because I won't be able to get through it. Katie?
This email was from a nurse. Her name was Carolyn Jones. The email is dated May 25th, 2013. And it was addressed to Laura Pearson. It says, Laura, I have looked for years for you or any of Keith's family. I was the nurse that was with him when he passed, and think of him every day. I never knew him personally, but sat with him for hours that day. And I'm so glad I found you, especially this close to Memorial Day. I joined the Army at 32 years old and was already an LPN. I joined the Skills for Stripes and went in as a sergeant. I got out of boot camp in February and was deployed to Somalia in April. I worked the expectant ward after the first big attack. I sat with ones that we could not help, and Keith was the only one to survive any length of time. We tried so hard to save him, but couldn't. If you only knew how often I think of him. I am crying right now. His dog's tag said he was Assembly of God, which was what I was raised. I never left his side for hours. We prayed over him and wrote on his toe tag that we were with him. I just needed so badly to find you and tell you that he didn't die alone. Then I found a paper with your name on it. I have always wanted to tell you about that day. We had a chaplain in our unit that was not very nice. Anytime we got a UN soldier in, he would refuse to pray over him and would say that I was denouncing my Christianity by praying for them. And one day, while I was out, this old chaplain came up to me. He told me that if I should never ever need him, he would be there. The day Keith got hit, because he was the first American that had made it to our hospital. When they brought him back, that old chaplain showed up, and it was like he was an angel. He read scriptures to Keith, and we prayed. I knew his wife's name was Jody, because inside his wedding ring was inscribed, "Love Jody." I am so sorry for the pain that you have gone through over the years. I know he must have been a good man. Our daughter, Laura, wrote back that she can't even begin to thank her for what she did for Keith. Laura told her that she was a retired Coast Guard warrant officer and was stationed in Boston when Keith was killed. It had eaten her all those years that she didn't get a chance to see Keith before he was deployed, because she was in Hawaii when Keith was in Germany and was deployed. They spoke on the phone every Sunday, if not more often. It was so amazing to talk to someone who was there that it has given me a great feeling of peace that they all worked so hard to save him. Thank you does not seem adequate, however grateful we are. Carolyn continued, anything I can do to answer your questions, just let me know. I attended a memorial in Somalia that was held in Somalia. I guess his wife has remarried. I knew her name but tried to find her but couldn't. I always think of him on Memorial Day and in August is really tough, for that's when he passed away. I read an article that mentioned your dad, so I searched Facebook, and then I found your brother, and that's how I got hold of you. It got bad for me after that day. Then from 2004 to 2007, I worked in Landstuhl, where all the boys were coming in from war. I have dedicated my entire life to helping our wounded and preventing suicides. Keith played such a huge role in my life that I am always grateful for you. It was so ironic that after 20 years, because Keith would have died in August of this year, 20 years ago, that this woman, it happened to be this weekend that she found our family.
In closing, let your loved ones know you love them, because you never know just how much time you have to spend with them. I would like for everyone here to stand, have a moment of silence remembering our loved ones that are no longer able to be with us.